Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's a Riverbug here, and I'm doing something a little bit different. I found a article here, and it's about, of course, forward-facing sonar, and they're talking about this in Minnesota. And here's the article. I'll go ahead and read it to you guys. It says, "As ice fishing technology advances, Minnesota wildlife officials are keeping a close eye on a controversial tool that some say give anglers one of the greatest technological advances to date." And of course, that's forward facing sonar. And we all know the controversies behind that is definitely not dying down anytime soon. So, we got a ice fishing guide here demonstrating technology on Lake Mintoco, where a current 13 inches of ice in Phillips Bay provides stable conditions for this high tech fishing hub. The setup includes underwater cameras, various sonar devices, but it's forward facing sonar that gives the widest reaching insight. And for those of you that do not know, if anyone's been under a rock, forward facing sonar basically allows you to see about 100 feet about 100 feet out from wherever your transducer is, and it shows you everything exactly like what's under the water. You can basically determine what you're fishing for and everything with it. It's a crazy technological advance in fishing, but it's been controversial since it's been out, and wildlife officials in different states have been noticing it and watching it like crazy. But I'll go ahead and keep reading. Forward facing sonar is what's controversial because it makes it like a video game for catching fish. And this is a guide that's actually saying this, and I would arguably agree with him. I think that forward facing sonar is basically a interactive in real life video game, but that's a whole nother thing. That's, you take it how you want it. Unlike traditional sonar that only shows what's directly below a boat ice hole, forward facing sonar can scan in multiple directions for hundreds of feet. Technology comes at a hefty price tag of roughly $2,500, and that's on the cheap side. Uh, the higher end setups for forward facing sonar can run you up to 10 grand, and I seriously believe that the only reason they even allow it is the amount of money in taxes and stuff they're getting off of this from fishermen. That's seriously my opinion. But again, take it with a grain of salt. Everyone has their opinions. Minnesota Department of Natural Resources (DNR) has taken notice. Within the past year, the agency created a work group to study the impact of forward-facing sonar, starting with surveys to determine how many anglers use the technology and how much they're catching compared to anglers who do not use it. And then we got Mark. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this last name. I definitely butchered that. It says a DNR official says the challenge lies in determining appropriate limits, and that's usually been a key factor. I know Mississippi's lowered limits of certain fish, and I think it's coming in the near future where every state's probably going to have to lower limits because of forward-facing sonar. But that's another topic. It says the tough thing is always how much is too much. He says if they're not causing population level harm, we wouldn't want to overreact and restrict that technology too soon. That's the tricky thing that we're working on sorting out. And again, we're only, I want to say, 4 or 5 years into forward facing sonar, and it definitely has been controversial. And I would say it definitely has impacted some fisheries, but again, the departments of natural resources will have to go over that and go about that their own way. And just like they say, that you don't want to overreact, but you also don't want to underreact and ruin a fishery or a resource. It says the DNR is particularly concerned about the technology's impact on species like muskie, which exist in low population densities and have restrictions for anglers, and I could see that because I know Minnesota is a prized destination for muskie, and I could see them being concerned about that. If we were suddenly catching and killing a lot more, that would be something we would have to be concerned about. While Minnesota has currently no restrictions on forward-facing sonar, that could change based on environmental impact studies. For now, the state has left decisions about technology use in fishing tournaments up to individual organizers. However, the National Professional Fishing League just banned live forward-facing sonar into place for official practice and competition, which they have restricted. Major League Fishing has restricted live scope or forward facing sonar this past year. Well, this year, going into this year. And they're just keeping a watchful eye on it here in Minnesota. Seems like they're pretty concerned about their fishing and their populations and their resources, which, rightfully so. Forward facing sonar could seriously cause a huge impact long term. Right now we're still kind of short term into it, but I know for a fact that it's definitely put a hurting on fish. I've seen where they've said 70% more anglers are catching fish versus ones that without it, it don't make fish bite, but it sure is hard not to catch them when you put it right into their mouth. So that's the only thing I'll say with it. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think about forward-facing sonar. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let me know your opinions down below. After all, everyone has their own opinions, and we can all get along. We're all fishermen at the end of the day. I just found this little article interesting. I got another video I'm going to make about another study, but let me know what you guys think about this down below. And who knows, here going into the future, forward-facing sonar could be banned forever. Who knows? The way they talk about it. Right now, I think it's honestly a big cash grab because at its cheapest, this right here, at its cheapest, $2,500, and that could be upwards of 10 grand depending on what you get. So I think right now it's just a giant cash grab for people, but I'm not the owner of a company or nothing, but let me know what you guys think. Just found this a little bit interesting. Stay tuned for the next one, guys. See you soon.